Today, we are talking about the Nigerian Customs Service, particularly the application platform that they launched late last year to help in carrying out their operations, the Bodogu platform. We also have a guest today who will be talking all things customs with us today, and a few other things that we need to talk about. His name is Godfrey Emeka Nwosu, and he's the General Secretary of the National Association of Government Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF. We shall be back in a jiffy.
All right, as we know, the Maritime and Border Show is a program designed to address the issues bordering on our maritime, and for us to know why we are not benefiting from that sector, a sector that ordinarily should be able to fuel the financial needs of a country like Nigeria. So we're hoping that as this program progresses, we'll be able to begin to ask the questions as to why Nigeria is still lacking behind in the maritime industry.
Yes, Francis, it's estimated that the maritime sector of the Nigerian economy is worth about 90 trillion naira. That's what we stand to benefit from the activities of within the maritime sector of the Nigerian economy. Now, last year, the customs made about 6 trillion naira from all their.
No, I think it's 5 point something.
It's about 6 point something trillion naira. Yeah, just a little bit over 6 trillion naira last year from the customs. Then a little bit of billions from here, billions from there, other agencies of government within the maritime sector. But that's a far cry from the estimated 90 trillion naira that we are supposed to be getting annually from this sector. A whole lot of people have said that, yeah, this is a sector that the country can wholly depend on for its income, and make all the monies that it needs to make to live and live very well, as a country with the citizens having the best of life. You pose a question: why is it that we are finding it difficult to attain our potentials? And of course, this is the reason why we have this program, the Maritime and Border Show, on 90.3 FM VOP radio. Going to the program, we know that the Nigerian Customs Service in the time past had what they called the Asikoda. They navigated to NISIS 1 to NISIS 2, and now they have what they call the Bodogu management platform, which is defined as a locally developed unified customs management system. It was launched in October 2024, but the pilot scheme started in November 2024 at the Port Terminal Multi-Services Limited, the PTML command of the Nigerian Customs Service in Lagos. It is the system is designed to streamline trade operations, enhance compliance, and optimize revenue collection within Nigeria's free trade zones. The system aims to create a more efficient and transparent environment for stakeholders, including shippers, terminal operators, and traders. And so, if we have Bodogu in place, the way it sounds, we are supposed to be shouting Uhuru. As far as utilizing it to meet our needs or the customs needs is concerned. But we are going to look at its operation so far over the past 6 months of its launch. Because it started, like I said, from the PTML command, from there it went to Tinkan command and other commands the the Maritime Mohammed Airport Command, and some other commands, including the number one command in the country, the Apapa Port Command, have all embraced the Bodogu management systems application. So we are going to ask Comrade Emeka, Godfrey Emeka Nwosu some questions about the operation so far, for him to critically analyze its operation. But before then, Francis has some news for us over the week.
All right, this program is an interactive one. So we're asking our listeners, you can call us. Don't forget the channel. It's VOP 90.3 FM. If you are not tuned to this dial, then you don't know what you're doing. And our numbers are 0700 903 903 903.
The WhatsApp number is 081 7175 6338.
You can also reach us on 08036 929933. All right. In the course of the last week, first of all, let us share in the joy of Nigerians that the Falcons brought back the Golden Cup to Nigeria, and we join all Nigerians,
millions of Nigerians, to celebrate this victory.
Yes,
it's one thing to take our minds away from all the economic and the social upheavals that every Nigerian is going through right now. It's a very good one. Welcome development.
Yes. Also, during the week, the past week, the president extended the tenure of the Controller General of Customs. The presidency announces that the tenure of the Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Mr. Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, MFR, which is due to expire on the 31st of August 2025, has been extended by 1 year. And the interesting thing is that the presidency said that the extension is primarily meant to consolidate the ongoing reforms and complete critical initiatives of the administration of the CG, the modernization of the Nigerian Customs Service, the implementation of the National Single Window Project, and the execution of Nigeria's obligations under the African Continental Free Trade Area, ACTA protocol. If you remember last week, we talked about him becoming the chairman of the WCO.
Yeah.
And then we asked that question. We said,
you asked a rhetorical question about what's going to be his fate now that he's due for retirement in August. And I remember saying that, personally thinking then that I don't think he's going to go on retirement. And of course,
it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. It has been confirmed to serve another 1 year.
But people are agitating. People are not happy with it. Quite a number of persons are not happy because they feel that the present administration is creating a problem where people who are due for retirement are given an extension of lifeline more like,
Yes, you have a very big point there. A whole lot of people will not be happy about that because the ranks, it means that if he doesn't go on retirement, the people below
cannot climb the ladder.
That's a problem. But some for those who are in favor of the elongation of tenure, they say that Adewale Adeniyi has been a revelation for the Nigerian Customs Service, having been in the thick of things with all the operations, served directly under so many CGs, having so much experience, and he has always attended a conference at the World Customs Organization. He knows the workings, the ins and outs of the World Customs Organization, which led to him being elected into the council as the chairman of council for a 2-year tenure. Of course, having had that in place, there is no way we would expect that back home here they will throw a spanner in the works by retiring a man who's just gotten a 2-year tenure at the World Customs Organization.
Okay, so in other words, we're faced with a situation where maybe tomorrow it's time for you to retire. I will just say no, daily you can't go anywhere. All right. Also, we had good news from the waterways. As you know, there's been a lot of mishaps of boats, lives, and properties. I know being lost and all of that. The Nigerian Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adeboyega Oyetola, has vowed to implement sweeping reforms to improve maritime safety and end recurring boat mishaps on the country's waterways following the submission of a special committee's report. The report was submitted on the 1st of August 2025 in Abuja. The Honorable Minister declared that the current spate of boat mishaps was unacceptable, and preventable, and must be tackled through a blend of policy enforcement, stakeholders' cooperation, and behavioral change. The minister stressed the urgent need for attitudinal change among water transport users, especially regarding the use of life jackets, describing such safety gears as non-negotiable. He further revealed that the federal government is set to phase out rickety boats often implicated in fatal accidents and replace them with safer, standard, compliant alternatives. This is good news, know. But in the midst of this good news, I have always said it is one thing for government to have a policy statement, and it's another thing for government to follow it through. And I don't understand why any right-thinking person would climb a boat without a life jacket.
Well, Francis, it's not about the person who's entering into boarding the boat. It's actually about the operators of the boat who should provide the life jacket and the necessary equipment for them to be safe.
No, but Timmy, Tommy, if you don't have a life jacket, don't you think it behoves on the person boarding that boat not to board it?
It is, but we are peculiar human beings here. In
Nigeria. We bring our resilience to everything we do in Nigeria.
Well, one good thing, you just said something about that. It's good news. Yes, I think I can imagine that the MD of NEWA, Bola Oyebamiji, he's been trying very hard to bring in some kind of structural change within the operations of the boat operators, setting the standards. And about a month ago, I was in an occasion where life jackets were distributed. About 3,500 of them were distributed to these boat operators so that they can use easily and stop having people enter board the boats without a life jacket, so that mishaps, whenever it happens, lives will not be claimed. And they are also putting their foot on the ground to make sure that the boats are well maintained and then up to standard.
All right, so let's look at the export, which is actually more of the concern of the Nigerian customs. The Lily Pond Export Company of the Nigerian Customs Service says it recorded export value of $1.586 billion in the first half of the year. Controller Ajibola Odusoya, Customs Area Controller of the Command, made this known on Thursday in Lagos. Odusoya said that the figure increased by $420.9 million over the $1.165 billion recorded in the same period of 2024, representing 36% growth rate. He said during the review period, the command processed 27,721 export containers, a rise from the 9,438 containers handled during the same period in 2024. It means that Nigeria is making more money from export.
Yeah, the record shows that less imports are coming in, but more exports are going.
Yeah, but you see, what we need right for me, in a report like this, it's also proper to let us have a breakdown of what we're exporting.
Yeah, because I think that's where the missing information is.
Yes, we need to know what are we exporting. Are we exporting solid minerals? Are we exporting cash crops? What are we really exporting? So that we don't just sit back and say we're exporting and then all of a sudden everything in Nigeria is gone. All right. The Nigerian Ports Authority, the Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Dr. Abubakar Dansho, has reaffirmed the agency's commitment to supporting indigenous vessels under the Nigerian First policy. DASO made this known in a statement issued on Friday by Mr. Okechukwu Onyema-Kara, MPS General.
Onyemekara.
Okechukwu.
His name is Ikechukwu Onyemekara.
Okay. General Manager, Corporate Communication and Strategy. He applauded the maiden arrival of the MV Ocean Dragon, a wholly Nigerian-owned container vessel at the West African Container Terminal on airport on the 31st of July. Dasho highlighted the vessel's impressive loading capacity of 349 TEUs, describing it as a distinctive addition to Nigeria's growing indigenous maritime fleet. Now, the question I'm asking is, in what way is this really, can we say this is really a fully grown Nigerian fleet? Because if we remember last week, we were talking about shipping yeah. And the fact that people are running away, people are not accessing funds, and we don't have shipyards. So this calls for kind of questioning what is really playing out with the NPA and the NIMASA in this field.
A whole lot of questions are there to be asked, and many more answers to be given. But let's keep hoping that things start growing this way. When the captain came in here last week, he talked about the fact that we don't have Nigerian players on the international scene. Of course, when it comes to shipping, that's very, very true. But what we're having is pockets of players that do transshipment from ports to other ports within the Nigerian and West African sub-region, and it's looking up. Things are looking up with this, acquisition of ships by local indigenous players. I think it's the right step in the right direction.
All right, and finally, something happened during the week as well. The last week we're looking at. The federal government plans to overhaul the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos to give the airport a more befitting and brand new look at the cost of over 712.25 billion. I mean, the way we mention billion in this country, it's becoming like, billion has become, nobody talks about thousands anymore. Just billion. And then I'm asking, we had the minister of the FCT, yes, refurbishing, so to say, of the
international conference
for 39 billion. Yeah. And then we're hearing another 712. It's not up to 3 years. Some was
renovated by the immediate past president.
Good. So what is going on? Why is it that we're just spending so much billions doing things we shouldn't be doing? Because why I'm saying this is that the roads in Nigeria are not motorable. The hospitals don't have drugs. Why is government not focusing on the thing that affects the ordinary Nigerians?
I can't really wrap my head around this one. I'm not sure I can defend this one, even if I'm the most ardent of government supporter. 712 billion and above for the renovation or remodeling of an airport in Nigeria at this critical time, when we are borrowing billions almost every other day for one thing or the other. It doesn't make sense to me as a person. But government has its own plans, and maybe I don't know.
When you say government have its own plans, ordinarily the plan of government should be about the people,
in tandem with the desire of the people, development of the country. I mean, generally, not just in one area that is bourgeoisie oriented. I mean,
because I keep asking myself, is it that we have gotten to that stage in Nigeria where we seem to all be under a spell? When people are not saying anything, people are not, ordinarily people should be asking questions. Why, at this point, why would we be spending 712 billion, in an airport that is functioning very well, when we have needs? Nurses just, called off their strike, which, because of payments and all of that. So, the things this government is doing, or those.
Well, some people will tell you that the airports are the the very first point of call for any foreign person coming into the country. So it has to be top notch. It has to be of international standard. That would be their.
I can see you. Yeah. I don't want to say what I want to say. All right, listeners, you can reach us on 0700 903 903 903.
And you can send us a WhatsApp chat on 081 7175 6338.
You can also reach us on 080 3692 9933. The phone lines are opened. This is VOP 90.3 Maritime and Border Show. All right. It is now time for us to bring in our guest. He's been itching to come in. I mean, when we were reading the news, he was like, I need to talk. I said, no. So now it's time. Move closer to your microphone a bit. Good. So, Dilly, I think you should hit him first.
Comrade Godfrey Emeka, you're welcome to the program, sir. Yeah. We are talking about Bodogu. It's been application platform that has been used by Nigerian Customs Service for their operations. In your own words, can you assess the first 6-7 months of the operation of the use of the Bodogu system, please?
Talking about Bodogu, unified custom management system, was introduced by the Nigerian Customs Service to replace the NICE's platform that's been found not to deliver what we need as Nigerians, or what we need in the trade management. Bodogu was introduced, it was like a product of our indigenous IT brains. Bodogu has no model. Bodogu is basically made, designed by Nigerian Customs Service. Within the customs, we manage Nigerian Customs Service. There's no external, there's no white man involvement in Bodogu. Has since taken off from the maiden trial stabilization of TML up to other custom commands. And we all know you don't take it away from the typical Nigerian.
It starts with a lot of teething problems, and in the midst of these teething problems, you will discover that there was so much lamentation, there was so much complaints by Nigeria, those who are using it in the system, basically the freight forwarders, the custom brokers, and those who are into the trade facilitation chain. Bodogu, if fully automated, stabilized, will give Nigeria a very big relief, even considering the introduction of a national single window, which the federal government has given a marching order that must take off from the first quarter of next year. So all hands are on deck. Everybody in the trade chain is making effort to see that it will be a smooth and a free flow system to manage. Bodogu has done well with a lot of challenges, because those who are managing the Bodogu were trained. Those who are servicing Bodogu are still yet to be trained. Talking about the freight forwarders, the opportunities have not been there. Customs invested so much money in training their personnel. The freight forwarders, the custom brokers, these are the trade facilitators. Customs, they are the revenue generators and the policy implementators. But those, the engine, the wheel upon which you drive this project of Bodogu, have not gained adequate training in the area of coming on the same platform or flying on the same kite with Nigerian Customs Service. So the little problem that has been facing Bodogu now is as a result of inadequate training by the facilitators.
Okay. Why do you think the lacuna exists? Why are the freight forwarders, the users, not, those who are also part of who are supposed to be part of the people using this platform, why are they not trained, the freight forwarders?
It's a product of Nigerian Customs Service.
Yeah.
They introduced it. The freight forwarders or custom brokers they were not part of the creation, the putting end to end, coming to float the Bodogu system, the UCMS. It's the duties responsibilities of the Nigerian Customs Service to now, which they have started, train the freight forwarders, custom brokers, who are the facilitators and those who will drive the wheels of Bodoku to succeed. So far, there have been some steps. The CGC, Wale Adeni, has given a directive that all commands should engage the freight forwarders and custom brokers to ensure that they are at the same page with the UCMS platform and those who are going to make use of it. So the lacuna there, we can give it to, although our people, the freight forwarders, custom brokers, are very few of us, very few of them who makes themselves available for training. And moreover, you can only take a horse to the stream. You can't force a horse to drink the water.
Yeah.
Okay. You talked about the fact that initially you said it's a very wonderful platform.
Yes.
But you're worried about the fact that those of you who are meant to use it are not being trained well.
I'm not getting that question.
Okay, now the question is, what is NAGAF doing to ensure that its members are trained? And also, what are the criteria to be a member of NAGAF?
Talking about NAGAF's efforts in getting our members trained, let me use the opportunity to thank the Custom Area Controller of Apapa Port, who has graciously granted our request to come and train our members. He has given us a date for 7th of August. They will come to NAGAF Village, NAGAF headquarters, to deliver training to our members on UCMS platform, mechanism. One of our main core commitment is to shift what people generally know in the open market as clearing and forwarding, to tell who cares to know that is freight forwarding is a noble profession. And for you to be a freight forwarder, you must gain the prerequisite training by way of going to running programs either with the universities or with academies. Like NAGAF has an academy where we train our members, and when there are new introductions of protocols in freight forward or custom management, we also make efforts to bring customs to our doorstep to come and help us train our members. The result is what we are going to have on the 7th of August. NAGAF has been a driving force. NAGAF changed the narrative since 1999, from inception. Changed the narrative in freight forwarding, in the movement of goods and services. NAGAF have introduced so many. NAGAF has been an advocacy group. NAGAF has put both the government agencies, the customs, the Shippers Council, the Port Authority, all in the chain of whoever that's involved in maritime business. NAGAF has been at the forefront, making sure that our voices and our contributions are felt.
When you talk about contributions, I want us to be clear.
Yeah.
What has NAGAF as a body contributed in the revenue generation of the customs?
You better put the question. What has the market woman contributed to ensure that families put food on their table? NAGAF is the umbrella body of freight forwarders. And who is a freight forwarder? One who facilitates trade from point origin to point of destination. And by so doing, who is the one who facilitates revenue for customs to collect? The freight forwarders. And who is a freight forwarder? Member of NAGAF. NAGAF members are the ones who commence documentation of import, pay appropriate and adequate revenues as required by government based on the statistics of the declaration. Knowing what NAGAF has contributed, statistics are there for you to take it.
That's huge.
The statistics are pure there.
In terms of numbers,
Freight forwarders.
In terms of numbers, as in numbers,
NAGAF is over 5,000. We're over 5,000 individuals. We're not talking about corporate. Individuals operating. Those individuals are the people who facilitate the collection of government revenues.
The trillions that we hear about.
Individuals contributed because the imports don't declare themselves. The freight forwarders declare them. And by so doing, the individual freight forwarder, who through the a corporate identity, makes revenue, pay duties, pay taxes, of all manner of revenue the government generates. So NAGAF has been contributing immensely to ensure all revenue leakages are blocked by sincere declarations, compliance.
Sir, please, I need to go back a little bit and ask you one more question regarding the Bodogu system. Can you give us an assessment of its performance from one command to the other, at least within the Lagos zone? Let's talk about, let's say, the airport, Maritime Mohammed Airport Command. It has performed maybe 90% to expectation. PTML, where it started, the pilot scheme, and where it really started, maybe 80% or 100%. Tinkan, Apapa, what your own mind? What do you think? How has been the performance so far?
Let's start from the pilot command.
PTML.
The last revenue declared in PTML was 204.7 billion. First half of the year.
Yeah.
The command declared 204.7 billion revenue generated as at. By this time last year, their revenue was below 100 billion. So that tells you that in PTML, Bodogu operation has gained cruising level. It's at the pilot, autopilot stage now.
Yeah. Okay.
So anybody in PTML can walk into PTML and then assess Bodogu and make declarations. In Tinkan, the story is not the same. Why it's not the same is that Tinkan,
They didn't start at the same time.
yes, the takeoff time was not the same time. It's not, and moreover, the use of custom code 846 was also a problem, teething problem at the takeoff of PTML. Now, in Tinkan, so many issues has come up that in the past 1 week or 2 weeks now, there was no declaration. You cannot access the goods because of the suspension of 846 by the custom headquarters. So this contributed to the slow in activation of Bodogu in Tinkan. But giving it a score with the wonderful work the controller of Tinkan, Controller Frank Onyeka, who is more of a revenue officer, and he is grounded in how to manage the customs.
And he was previously at that command as.
No, he started there.
Yeah.
That was his where he started his management career as a evaluation officer. So in Tinkan, you can give it for now, if not for the intervention of the headquarters suspending 846 application. You can give it to Tinkan at 60%.
Okay. Please, let's talk a bit about that suspension of the 846. Since you have delved into it, I meant to go to it later, but since you started, let's talk about it. Okay. What led to the suspension of the code 846? First and foremost, for the benefit of the listeners, tell us what the 846 is.
846 is a code, a declaration code introduced by Nigerian Customs Service to accommodate. Basically, it applies on vehicles. It's applied on vehicles, not general cargo. On vehicles, we have standard VIN, non-standard VIN. To enable all imports, vehicular import, to be granted clearance, we have unified VIN valuation, where there are chassis number that are standard, there's chassis number that are non-standard. Then the non-standard are the ones that this code was made for. The Nigerian Customs Service, on their wisdom, designed that code. It's just like 90.3, you raise it to power 4.
Okay.
To accommodate all the equipment that are here. Mm-hmm. Ordinarily, if you say 90.3, there are some equipment here
that will not fit in.
Be compliant. Mm-hmm. So simply, the 846 was introduced by Nigerian Customs Service to ensure that all vehicles imported into Nigeria are are cleared out of the port. So, just like 2 weeks now, there was a suspension. Suspension was as a result of abuse by custom brokers and freight forwarders.
All sides.
Yes, the system was there was an abuse.
Okay.
It's not.
So the Nigerian factor came in.
It was not, I don't know what you mean by Nigeria factor. It was not. It was not.
Corruption came in. Let us put it the way it is. Because if you say it's abuse, it means corruption came in.
When I say it was abuse, you should allow me to tell you what I mean by my choice of words being abused. If you are expected to use 90.5 as FM, you now go and use 93.0 MF. It's abuse of the system.
Okay.
Yes, we agree with you. But what would make you abuse the system is corruption.
You see, Nigerians, we, being who we are, in most cases, we want it to suit us.
Okay.
Custom has already laid down procedures. Custom have introduced this code to ease your declaration. But Comrade Godfrey also might feel uncomfortable with the way to follow that process.
And he wants to beat the
And
system.
So you're talking about the Nigerian factor again.
If you choose the word, I maintain it's abuse of process.
Abuse, okay.
All right.
Go on, sir. Go on.
So then, when the headquarters of Customs Service discovered that government was losing revenue
Okay.
as a result of the sabotage of the system, abuse of the system, they now had to say, okay, no, put a stop, let's go back and have a review. Before the introduction of 846, it was meant to be, even if your vehicle is manufactured in 2010, your vehicle is manufactured in 2020 or 2025, that there will be
Flat rate.
value added.
Okay.
Not considering how old the vehicle has been. Some of these vehicles have lived ex-factory value. From the manufacture date to the date you are bringing them here, some of them is gone beyond 20 years. So, and at the time of introduction of valuation, it was meant to be, you pay this, irrespective of the lifespan of the particular vehicle you are bringing in. So, that was how 846 came about. Now to give a room to accommodate each categories, different categories of vehicles that will be imported into Nigeria.
We learned that this suspension has led to a backlog of uncleared vehicles.
Of course.
So, and demurrages will be accrued
Yes.
to the terminal operators and, of course, shipping companies for
Yes.
the containerized vehicles.
Yes.
That's a big problem on the way.
Yes.
What will now happen when eventually they resolve and say, okay, guys, start clearing your vehicles?
This is what we say is a system problem. There should have been a synergy between the operators of liners and the Nigeria Customs Service. If you are to suspend a procedure, or suspend a particular procedure for obvious reasons, there should be need for communication. And mind you, these cargoes were shipped, have already been shipped on board before the suspension was announced. And shipping is time bound. Each minute a vessel stands here, somebody loses and somebody pays. Every second in shipping, somebody is losing, somebody is gaining. So vessels arrive and miss the suspension. They don't have any business staying on where the anchorage. They have to offload their cargo, and those cargoes that are offloaded definitely go into a facility that's called terminal. So when the government has suspended the procedure for interim, those vehicles or those cargo that were brought into the terminals will stay there, and it's time bound and the demurrages accrue. So what I mean that it's a system problem is that Nigeria Customs Service should have a link or a synergy with the shipping line in the interim while we are trying to iron out this. So but those operators will tell you that why we are not part of it. We are running on energy, we are running on diesel, and the port system is 24 hours. There's no time you say you shut down the port operation for 1 second.
All right. We're still tuned on to VOP 90.3 FM, and it is the Maritime and Border Show. And we have a guest with us who has been trying to educate us, trying to let us know the good sides of what they do, trying to let us know where custom service has failed, and trying to let us know where corruption is coming from. We'll get back to that. The phone lines are open: 0700 903 903 903.
And for WhatsApp, you have 08171756338.
You can also reach us on 0803 692 9933. This is the Maritime and Border Show on VOP 90.3 FM. All right, sir. I was going to ask you, what is the relationship between NAGAF and terminal operators? How have you been able to build a synergy that helps to address the problems faced by terminal operators?
Problems of.
All right. Let me be more practical with the question now.
Okay.
You know that.
Well, in facility management, such as boundary terminals, the freight forwarder decides where the cargo goes, advises the importer, the excise trader, where the cargo should go to. As a facility manager at boundary terminal operator, if vessels are steamed to your terminal, the nearest mother port could be Kelty, like you give as an instance. And in the process, there is an announcement or a circular suspending the movement of boxes or TEUs to border terminals. The reasons will be spelled out. It's clearly noted. But as a bonded terminal operator, you have your customers, or you have your client, or where your patronage comes from. You need to link with the traders, the importers, we call them the importers here, to choose where their TUs will be taken to. From point Guangzhou in China, I need my TU to be delivered in KLT command. Obviously, when it gets to KLT command, you bonded terminal operators who have consignments from that particular vessel in KLT will have access to it. But when you see, it's an open market where from Guangzhou, from Felixstowe, from Canada, boxes are shipped to Nigerian port. Destination is Apapa Port, Stinkan Port. In a bill of lading, there's a provision for direction, as in where you want your TU to
destinations.
Yes. When you choose Apapa Port / this type of facility, when you choose KLT, when it gets to KLT, the operators like bonded terminal operators who are attached to KLT as outer network obviously have their boxes there. The shipper is the one who decides where the boxes go to. But in this case, with problems some of the bonded terminal operators are facing, that there are some shipments that are not destined to their command, their parent command port. Okay. So you will be hustling to have shipment come to your facility or border terminal by bringing them there. But if you are predestined it that this shipment should go to KLT as port of discharge, the liner have no choice. Rather, from the port of origin, port of departure, you will now begin to look for the liner that can take you boxes to that, because all liners don't call the same port. All liners don't call the same command. There are some liners that cannot call Tinker. Today, some of them have moved from Tinker. Maersk Line no longer come to Tinker. Yeah, CMA don't come to Tinker. They've all gone to Lekki Deep Sea Port. Yeah. They decide. The trader decides where you want box to go, and the liner you choose, it means where you go. So if KLT has been having these issues, it might not be custom problem per se. Custom, theirs is just to get their revenue, to ensure that maximum revenue is collected.
Okay, maybe we'll look at it from this way. You know that of the three commands we've had, apart from Lekki that has joined in, Lekki makes it 4 now. The Apapa, Tinkan, and Lekki, they have water.
Yeah.
KLT doesn't have water.
barge operation, consider barge operation opportunity.
No. It doesn't have water because if what we're looking at is you need to look at the dynamics, the issues on ground.
Barge operation.
No, you need to look at the issues. It means that first of all, whatever barge operation you have, the containers cannot come straight to KLT because KLT does not have the waters. So KLT is a dry port, and because it's a dry port, it needs to be fed from Tinkan, Apapa, and Lekki.
If you get my explanation, if you got me right,
PTML.
I said, if a cargo is destined as a command port, KLT command, the vessel will not bat in KLT, obviously. The liner operator of that vessel, like shipping company, has a responsibility because they have collected freight on that shipment. Bat the vessel in Apapa, bat it in Tinkan, and use intermodal as in channel, other local channels like barge operation to move those TEUs to the designated command, that's KLT. So if you, before now, we used to have Broward liner that were basically KLT bound vessels. Cargo that come online Broward are directly KLT. Okay. But today, those liners no longer call here. Some of them don't come again. So it's still, I want to really maintain that it still behoves on operators, the shipper, to decide where you want your cargo to go. It may attract additional cost from point of origin and the liner charges. But the freight might not be the same. My point of the port of the charge is a Apapa port. They may have additional cost, making it KLT. Because from Apapa port, those TUs will be taken to KLT command. But whatever means, there's no other means now other than by barge operation. If the liner does not have a contract, local contract with the barge operator, obviously the containers cannot go. And now we also have this problem where liners, shipping companies don't have fleet of trucks. We have option. It's either you go by the waterways or you go by road. Okay. Most of them don't have it. They're only here to come here to drop the cargo and then make their money. And the operators of facilities like border terminals are the one now providing trucks, haulage to go to mother port and pick their shipment. It's not supposed to be so. The shipping line is duty bound to ensure that this container that has been designated to go to KLT gets to KLT.
So why are we finding it difficult, or why is the system finding it difficult to compel the liners?
I want to limit myself to what I know. I don't know the contractual agreement between the liner operator and the government.
Sir, the economic regulator of shipping in Nigeria is the Nigerian Shippers Council.
Yes.
They have a role to play in this movement of cargoes. Would you say they have been sitting on their hands or they've been up and doing?
Nigerian Shippers Council.
Sure.
We read Nigerian Shippers Council in the news.
Okay.
So in other words,
tell us why you think so, sir?
They're ineffective.
So they have been sitting on their hands. Tell us why you think so, sir.
Most of the informations you hear from Nigerian Shippers Council and newspapers go in. The only thing Nigerian Shippers Council have been able to do and show proof is their cooperative. Ask me why. Freight forwarders have problem with liner operators. Freight forwarders have problem with terminal operators, and of which cases are made. Yes, Shippers Council are trying their best, but not to. If you take it by percentage, no, you can. It's not commensurate with the problem that have been filed, have been reported to them. Yeah, they are doing the little they can.
Why do you think they are not really acting? They are not very active, sir. From your own perspective.
Could you just hold on 1 second? Let's see if we can get this caller on. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah. My name is Ola from Mexico.
Okay, Mr. Ola, welcome.
I want to ask what's wrong with you guys' question.
Sorry?
Yeah, go on ahead and ask your question.
Go ahead, we're with you.
I say what was wrong with you guys station? Because I've been hearing another station on me.
Well, you've been hearing another. Okay, I think the engineers are working on it. Sometimes these things happen. But you're on now, so go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, it's been done now, right?
Sorry?
Yeah?
I can't hear you.
I said, you said you are working on it. Has it been rectified?
But you're speaking
you're
with
speaking
us.
to us, which means that you're hearing us. So go on ahead and ask your question. This is a Maritime and Border show. Talk to us. Ask your question.
Oh, yeah, I just want to confirm it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Go on ahead, sir. We were talking about the National Shippers Council and the performance of their duty or lack of it.
The problems are so enormous compared to the solutions. The Shippers Council,
Explain, sir.
as regulators of shipping and shipping company operations, they have not been able to convince the freight forwarders or the operators, maritime operators, that the issues that have been raised, that have been flagged by the operators, are adequately getting attention. It's no news that the management of MTTUs is a huge problem. Liners come here, an average of a ship will bring in about 250 TEUs import and leave our shores with maybe less than 50 TEUs. The remaining, the balance of the 250 they brought will be abandoned. They go back, go to the mother port. You will see empty containers littered everywhere. But shipping lines comes calling with the cargo import and leave. Shippers Council has a responsibility to ensure that if you bring it to 20 TEUs, you go with 2 import, you go with 20 empties. That is one. Management of container deposit up to date is a problem. I will even tell you for free that the shipping lines are even stronger than the Shippers Council. Why? They cannot enforce shipping companies to pay an importer a fixed amount deposit they collect. As at when you take delivery of a container, return your container on time, give me back my deposit. Takes months. And when you cry to the Shippers Council, it may even take another month to get response from them. We needed a situation. If you are as Nigerian Shippers Council, issues of charges. Today, any terminal can come up, and when you go to Shippers Council, they say they were aware. What about the process, the procedure of you making increment? The procedure, there are laid down procedures for increment as at when due. But these days, some of us, you throw in document for invoice, you see outrageous bills.
Just hold on. Hello? 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 Please call us back.
So there are regulatory functions. Impact are not being felt. Or they will come on maybe come in the news, tell you the Nigerian Shippers Council have done this, they're trying. We may give it kudos to Kuta, the present ES. It has really tried to see that the operations of the Nigerian Shippers Council is changed. The gear of operation there is changed. He has been making efforts to see that Shippers Council are placed in the right footings.
Yeah, it's that. At the risk of sounding like someone who had a more glorious past, I know that 2 executive secretaries away from the one we are having now, Hassan Bello. Yeah, a whole lot of encomiums was poured on him that he managed that place very well and things were going smoothly. Yeah. But the kind of complaints that you are laying now and people just like yourselves are laying about the operations at the Shippers Council are mind-boggling. Why do you think there's been sort of backward, a retrace of steps, as in not moving forward and then handling things? Because freight forwarders a whole lot are crying about these things that you're just talking about. It's not new to me as a person. Why is it so? We keep asking that question. Is it corruption? Is it that people have been compromised, or is it that people have willingly given up their regulatory duties, or given up their powers to regulate? What is the problem, sir?
The question you ask is as good as the question I will ask, because in the face of operation, you expect that when issues are raised or concerns are mentioned, there should be attention given. Why has the Nigerian Shippers Council not effectively addressed the issue of invoicing reforms? Why? MSC is a case. You take delivery of a TV from MSC with appropriate deposit, container deposit paid. Go get your money back. Do you want to tell me that Nigerian Shippers Council are not getting this complaint?
So there's compromise somewhere.
Of course, that should be.
Which means there's corruption somewhere.
That should be. Because if they cannot resolve issues, unless they come out boldly to tell freight forwarders, tell operators, these are our challenges. So if they're having any challenge, they are the one keeping it to themselves.
Who very much love to have
hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Please, can you turn off your device?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, you're welcome. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Mecca from Wilson.
Okay, Mecca, you're welcome. You're on.
I'm also into haulage, Papa.
Okay.
I want to ask the guy that is with you there. I want to ask him some questions.
You can hear you. Go ahead.
The time we use our trucks to carry container, after delivering the goods, the container will be in our trucks. And when we ask the shipping company where to drop, they say they will say they don't have space. And the container will be in our truck for more than 2 weeks. After they open it and drop it, no demurring to us, nothing. Nothing, they will not do anything about it. And the agent said, no, I don't want to do anything about it. They're supposed to do something about it, unless something happens somewhere. They will make them not to do something about it. Because most of that, like today now, I can't cruise come now. There's no way it's entering now. And the sea is on top of my truck. I know the agent is not saying anything about it. She's in the morning, and the money I need to buy that truck is the microfinance. So that's the question I want to ask you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sir, he's asking about the cases where the shipping companies or terminal operators use their trucks as holding bays.
You don't need to go far. The question is in line with what we are discussing. Operator, regulator. How can a liner be operating in Nigeria without having a holding bay? How can what do you call it? China shipping, MLC, operate in Nigeria and using our mother port for empty container holding bay? The consequences, the resultant effect is what he's complaining about. Some of them will take import to warehouse in good time, offload, return back with empties, and be hanged on the road. On access port.
Just hold on. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon, we can hear you. Your name and where you're